Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know, you probably already do know, I had twins and I had a boy and I had a girl. This is Hunter, this is Hallie. I had twins. I'm gonna tell you guys my birth story and how they came to me. Yeah. I still have mom brain. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put these babies down, get bottles in their mouths, and I'm going to tell you guys a story, but here they are. This is Hallie. Whoops. Guys, I'm having a rough time already. This is Hallie, and this is Hunter, and yeah, that's them. So I'm going to feed them, and I'll tell you guys my story. Okay, the babies are situated for the time being, and I'm very grateful that they are eating. We have limited time, but I wanted to tell you guys my birth story because I've been so MIA. We've had so much family in town. We still have family coming. And I've really missed making YouTube videos. And I miss you guys. And that's pretty much it. I know you guys have asked questions. And I thought, well, let's just not leave them hanging. And tell them my birth story. I'm going to be checking on the babes. They're right here eating. She's trying to get a poop out. Okay, guys. So I had a planned C-section. That's a lot of questions that I get asked from people is, did I have a planned C-section and why did I get a C-section? I got a C-section because Hunter was breech and she was transverse. Transverse is sideways, breech is feet to my crotch and head in my ribs. So pretty much not head down at all, and so I had that scheduled. Another question that people have been asking me is, why did I have my babies at 37 weeks 1 day? So if you don't know, carrying your twins to 36 weeks, I believe, or 37 weeks is full term. That's basically like carrying a single baby for the full term. What, 41 weeks, 40 weeks? That's the exact same thing. So we had my scheduled C-section planned for April 15th at 37 weeks 1 day. And we had planned for 7:30 a.m. I was very, very nervous because I delivered Hudson vaginally and I'm so scared of things going wrong and just all of the above, just everything. And it's a scary thing. I mean, a C-section is a huge deal. It's a lot of cutting. It's a lot of recovery. It's a lot of just like everything, you know, it's emotional. It's crazy. So we had planned April 15th at 7:30 a.m. We drove to the hospital, me and Court. Court's parents were here watching Hudson, thankfully, and they just kept him so entertained. They were amazing. But we drove to the hospital, went there. We had to be an hour and a half early, I believe. So we left the house at like 5. I don't care. You guys probably don't care about these details, but we left pretty early in the morning. And anyways, they prepped me, got me all ready, and my OB that was performing the C-section came to me and just asked me how I was doing before everything was gonna start. And they had drawn my blood beforehand just to make sure that my blood was okay in case anything was going to go wrong during it, and if I needed a blood transfusion and all of the above, just to make sure that everything's good. So they had tested my blood. My OB came to ask me how I was doing and if I was nervous and all of the above, just to tell me that everything's going to be completely fine. And my blood results came back and she's like, wow, they are extremely low. Your blood count is just like dangerously low. And I was like, what? I can't even tell. She's like, are you lightheaded? Like your blood pressure is high? Like, she was asking if I felt okay, and I was like, I feel great. Like, I honestly am just like nervous about this whole C-section thing, but that's about it. And she was like, well, just to let you know, we're gonna have to do a blood transfusion. And I was like, are you kidding me? A blood transfusion? I did not laugh or anything, by the way. I was just like, oh my gosh. I will insert the picture of my reaction right here. Me wiping my tear away and her explaining to me that I'm going to have to get a blood transfusion during my C-section. I know this is like super like normal and common for people to have a blood transfusion, but I was really, really, really scared to get it just because I just had so many thoughts going through my head. Like, I have Hudson at home. If this blood transfusion doesn't go okay, like, I was really, really nervous, but obviously, like, 1% of the time they probably go wrong. I don't even know the statistics for that, but I know that I was going to be okay, even though I was like extremely nervous. I was like holding it together as much as I could. I was crying a little bit, and I was super just like exhausted already because I was just so done being pregnant at that point. So I was like, whatever, just do the blood transfusion. And she's like, okay, we'll get everything going. My anesthesiologist came in, and oh my gosh, she was drop dead gorgeous, and she came and just calmed me completely. She was totally my kind of girl. She had eyelash extensions. She had a full face of makeup. She smelled so good. She had the cutest little like hat thing because they have to cover their hair. She had the cutest scrubs. She just looked so put together, and I was like, oh, okay, like you can totally give me the whatever you call it, the epidural thing in my back, and I will be calm. So they wheeled me back, and I went into the room, and they prepped me again, and then she gave me it's like a epidural, but it comes out. I don't know the name of it, but she gave me like an epidural in my back to numb my legs and pretty much just like my chest down. She told me that it was going to be really, really heavy to breathe, and pretty much she just said, don't worry, if it's feeling really, really heavy, I'm going to be sitting right here. I'm going to be checking your oxygen, making sure that you're completely fine, which I was. I was completely fine during it. She checked my oxygen the entire time. My oxygen was 100% the entire time. I honestly did not feel a single thing. They put the drape up, and my OB was already working, and I thought they were still prepping me or something, and they definitely were not. I asked her, I was like, are they cutting me? And she's like, oh yeah, have already cut through the first couple layers of your skin. And I was like, are you kidding me? I can't feel any of this. So that was nice. But they did have to test to make sure that I was like completely numb. So she like scratched me with like not a knife, but like a needle type of thing. And I was like, ow. And then, and that was on my arm. And then she would scratch me on my leg with the same thing. And so she kept on going back and forth to see if I could tell that I was completely numb. And I was completely numb. I did not feel anything. It felt really like weird. Like you could tell that they were like pulling on me, but I couldn't feel the babies come out really. But the only thing I could feel was as soon as the babies did come out, my chest was just like, I can breathe. Like my ribs, I just felt like they expanded, and I had just like so much room to breathe, if that makes any sense. I just felt really, really like relieved, and that was like a really good feeling. So she stitched me up. The whole thing took about like 45 minutes. It wasn't bad at all, honestly. I would do the actual C-section again. But on to recovery. The recovery was awful. My babies are crying because now I need to burp. The recovery was awful. It was like honestly the worst thing in the entire universe for myself. I am the biggest wimp in the entire world, I feel like. But I felt great for the first like 4 hours. Then they came and took my catheter out, and they said, are you numb? I said, no, I'm not numb anymore. They said, okay, great. You can go use the restroom now all by yourself. I mean, if you need help the first time, I can help you. But I was like, my husband's in the room. Why would I need help? Like, I'm totally good to go over there. So I didn't have to use the restroom right away. But when I did have to use the restroom, I didn't have any painkillers in me at the time. And pretty much just like everything had worn off from the C-section, and I was starting to feel a little bit of pain, and I was like, okay, I gotta go potty. So Court helped me up, and I just remember sitting on my bed with my hands right here to help myself push off. And when I say I felt like my guts were going to fall out, I'm 100% honest. That is how I felt. I felt like my guts were literally about to just come right out, and it was the most painful feeling ever. Like, I can't even explain how in pain. I just bawled to Court, and I was like, this is the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. So I made it to the bathroom. It took like 15 minutes to get to the bathroom, which is like 2 steps away from my bed. And then as soon as I got there, like, the whole process of going potty was just so excruciating and so hard for me. And I just was in so much pain. I just had so many tears. I cried so much, and it was awful. And then finally, they came and brought me some painkillers, which honestly, I did not think I was going to be like, yeah, I need painkillers really bad. But I was like, I need painkillers really, really, really bad. Like, this is awful. Like, give me painkillers now because I'm in so much pain. Took a while for them to settle in, but they got me on them, and I was so thankful. But after that, I was just dreading every time that they came in to check my stomach. They would push really, really hard, and it just was so painful. Like, they had to make sure that my uterus was like contracting or something like that, and I was just in so much pain. It was ridiculous. Like, awful, awful, awful. And yeah, I would never do the recovery again. The C-section part is like a dream come true, but the recovery is awful. So I guess nothing really crazy happened other than the blood transfusion. That went great, and now I'm on iron supplements just because my iron levels are really, really low. I guess good burp. They really are worried that I just, like, what's it called? I'm anemic or whatever. So they want to test me on June 10th when I go into my next appointment to see if possibly I'm anemic or whatever because my blood is so low. That's how it was with Hudson as well, but I don't know. I don't really care too much just because I feel good. But she seemed to be kind of worried about it, so she wanted me to do that anyways. So I'm sure a lot of people get blood transfusions, so it's not a big deal, but for me, it definitely was, and it was a really scary thing, but it was such an amazing experience, honestly, to have people here watching Hudson, and to have Hudson come and see his brother and sister for the first time. Oh, the lighting is weird. To have Hudson see his brother and sister for the first time, and all of that, you know. He's like, Mom, I burped, now give me the rest of that bottle. So there you have it. There's my birth story of my twins. I am so thankful for them. Oh, I didn't tell you guys how much they weighed. Hallie Kay weighed 5 pounds 6 ounces, and Hunter Robert weighed 5 pounds 12 ounces. Now that's a really good weight for twins. They didn't have any NICU time. They had great lungs. They fed great. Everything was great. They got to come home perfectly. And I feel like I was really lucky because I was really expecting to have NICU time and all of the above, and everything turned out perfect, and we love them so much. I still feel like I'm a babysitter or something because it just still doesn't feel real to me. I feel like only people with multiples like understand that feeling. You just like don't feel like it's real life, but they're so cute. They're ours, and Hudson's doing okay with them. It's fine. He's just a little jealous here and there. Getting through. I don't know why I'm saying that because this is a birth story video. And yeah, now they're starting to act crazy, which is okay because the video is over. Everything went good, and I had a good experience. The hospital was amazing, and Court was amazing, and I'm all recovered now. I just got to get rid of my belly. I'll show you guys the destruction they did on it. I didn't have a single stretch mark until I had them. My stomach is getting flat, but I did not know I had stretch marks until I gave birth. because I could not see anything. I thought I honestly didn't have any stretch marks at all whatsoever, but apparently I did. So I'm working with what I got, and yeah, can't wait to start the gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.